Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss about cell nucleus. Now, when I talk about nucleus, it plays an important role inside the cell. It is also called as the control center of the cell. So, what are the important functions which nucleus plays? We are going to discuss about them first. Okay, so the first one is it contains the genetic information. Now, this genetic information is present in the nucleus in the form of genes, fine, and these genes are located on the chromosomes. Fine. So genes are located basically on the DNA which is present in the chromosome. So this is basically, therefore, we say that nucleus is containing the genetic information of the cell. Now, second is nucleus is also responsible for the cell growth and multiplication. So whenever the cell is multiplying, it is basically due to the control and command that the cell nucleus is giving. Okay. Also, another important function of nucleus is the synthesis of ribosomes. Now, we all know that ribosomes are called as the protein factories of the cell. Fine. But then where are ribosomes synthesized? They are synthesized inside the nucleolus, which is present inside the nucleus of the cell. So therefore, we can say that nucleus is also the site for the synthesis of ribosomes. All right, so these are the important functions of the nucleus. Now, one more important point which we can add over here is that the nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown in 1831. So this is important that you remember who discovered nucleus. Robert Brown in the year 1831, he discovered nucleus for the first time. Okay. Now, when I talk about the cell can be divided into two categories. First one is it can be a prokaryotic cell or it can be a eukaryotic cell. Now, pro means before, and karyon here is referring to nucleus. Fine. So basically prokaryotic cells, what kind of nucleus is present in them, we'll discuss in the coming slides. And similarly, the various features of eukaryotic cell, which is having a well-defined nucleus, we'll discuss about the various features of the or various functions and structures which are present inside the eukaryotic cell as well. Okay. Now let us understand first the first cell which we talked about, which is the prokaryotic cell. All right, as I mentioned, pro means before and karyon is nucleus. Fine. So before a well-defined nucleus was developed. So whereas the genetic material present in such cells then. So we can see that prokaryotic cells is a type of cell which does not have a true nucleus. It doesn't have a true nucleus. When I say that means that it doesn't have a true membrane bound nucleus. Okay. So therefore, then the question arises, where will the genetic material lie in that case? So we have the genetic material over here, which is just present in the cytoplasm. So that is present in the form of a condensed form, which is present in the cytoplasm, and the region where this genetic material is present is what you call as the nucleoid. Okay, so you can see over here, nucleoid is basically the region wherein these genetic material which exist in the cell in the form of DNA, and the various these materials are present in bundles, and this region wherein this genetic material is present is what you call as nucleoid. Now, so here in the diagram you can see this is the region in this cell wherein this nucleic this genetic material is present, and this region is what you call as the nucleoid of the cell. Okay. Now the examples of prokaryotic cell. When I talk about prokaryotic cells, we have bacteria, we have various all bacteria from kingdom Monera, which can be either eubacteria or archaebacteria. Both are falling under this category. Fine. So it can be either eubacteria or it can be archaebacteria. All right. So this was about the prokaryotic cell. Now what about the eukaryotic cell in that case? So eukaryotic cell is basically the cell which is having a small round and a membrane bound nucleus which is well defined, which is very distinct. Okay, so you can easily see the nucleus in a eukaryotic cell which is clearly visible, and also it has the membrane, double membrane as well. Fine, so we have a very small round membrane bound structure which is very much clearly visible, which is very distinct in the eukaryotic cell. Okay, now it is controlling the functions of the cell, like we discussed earlier. Also, cell growth is being controlled. Now once the cell has to divide, once the cell is dividing into two daughter cells, then also the nucleus is controlling these functions. Okay, and also that, as we have discussed, it contains the hereditary information in the form of chromosomes or the chromatin thread. So what is the difference between chromosome and chromatin thread? This we are going to discuss in the coming slide. So here in the diagram you can see the anatomy of nucleus. Basically the nucleus is being shown over here. This is a well-defined nucleus which is covered by the nuclear membrane, or which is written over here as nuclear envelope. Now it contains the genetic material in the form of chromatin, or it can be either chromosomes. Fine, and we also have inside the nucleus, we have the distinct nucleolus also, which is present and which is seen in the eukaryotic cells. Fine, so this is how the cells, the eukaryotic cells, the nucleus is different from the prokaryotic cells. Now, when I talk about eukaryotic cells, it will include both the plant cell and the animal cell. Plus, it will also include, the fungi will be included, plus the protist. Okay, so these will also have a well-defined nucleus, which is a eukaryotic nucleus. All right. So as you can see over here in the plant cell also, you have a well-defined nucleus present. Fine. This is the nucleus which is present in the plant cell. Plus similarly in the animal cells also, you can see over here, this is the well-defined nucleus which is present. Okay, so both plant and animal cell, along with the fungus and the kingdom Protista also, these all are having a well-defined nucleus which is seen inside these cells, and therefore these are the eukaryotic cells. Okay. I hope this is clear till here. Okay, so now let us understand the difference between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. Okay, so as we have discussed in the eukaryotic cell, the first point is the eukaryotic cell is having a well-defined membrane-bound nucleus. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram over here for the eukaryotic cell, the nucleus is present and it is a well-defined nucleus. It is distinct in the cell, and also it is surrounded, or it is covered by a double layered nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. Okay, but as we discussed in the prokaryotic cell, it doesn't have any well defined membrane bound nucleus. Moreover, over here you call it as nucleoid. Okay, so prokaryotic cells have nucleoid, whereas the eukaryotic cells will have a double membrane layered structure. A well defined distinct structure is present, which you call as nucleus. Okay, so this one is the first point of difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The second point is membrane bound cell organelles. So when we talk about the cell, we are also talking about other cell organelles. Okay, so we talk about endoplasmic reticulum, we could talk about mitochondria. So all these membrane bound cell organelles are present in a eukaryotic cell, but they are absent in the prokaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells will not have many of these cell organelles. Okay, so they are absent in the prokaryotic cells, while these are present in the eukaryotic cells. And therefore this becomes our second point of difference between these two types of cells. When I talk about the size of these cells, now eukaryotic cells are larger in size. This can even range up to 100 micrometers, but then these prokaryotic cells are pretty smaller in size, from 1 to 10 micrometers they are ranging. So they are smaller as compared to the eukaryotic cells. Now next is, what are the examples of eukaryotic cells? As I discussed, all the protists, the fungus, the plant and the animal cells, all these cells are eukaryotic cells because they do have a well-defined nucleus which is present in them. Okay, whereas when I talk about prokaryotic cells, kingdom Monera, which will include both eubacterias and archaebacterias, will be included in the prokaryotic cells. Okay, and lastly, we're also talking about the types of ribosomes. Now, ribosomes are present both in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, but then we do have the different types of ribosomes. Now, in eukaryotes, we have 80S. S refers to the Svedberg unit. Now, when we're talking about ribosomes in detail, we'll talk about the structure of these ribosomes. Okay, then we'll talk about what is this 80 and 70S. But then, as here, we will just remember that a eukaryotic cell will have an 80S type of a ribosome, whereas a prokaryotic cell is going to have 70S type of the ribosome. Okay, so you will remember this, the types of ribosomes. So these are the differences between the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. Now let us understand the nucleus of eukaryotic cell in detail. When I talk about the nucleus, I have already discussed about nucleolus also. So nucleolus is present inside the nucleus of the cell. Now this structure is basically, this is a small spherical structure which is present inside the nucleus and which can be seen very distinctly during the resting stage of the cell. Okay. Now this resting stage would be clear when we'll be talking about, cell division in detail. We'll talk about what is the resting stage of the cell. And if I talk about what is present inside the nucleolus, it is basically composed of RNA and proteins. So, ribonucleic acid and proteins are the main constituents which are present inside the nucleolus of the cell. And what is the function? As I discussed, for as well, it is basically responsible for the production of the ribosomes. And then we also discussed the function of ribosomes. Ribosomes basically are responsible for the protein synthesis in the cell. Okay, fine. So these basically nucleolus is responsible for the production of ribosomes inside the cell. Okay, this is clear. Now next is, if we see over here, this is how in the cell, in the nucleus, this is basically telling you the structure of nucleus, and this is how the nucleolus is going to look like. So it is basically a round, small round structure which is present inside the nucleus of the cell. Okay. If I talk about other structures, fluid inside the nucleus. So nucleus is also containing, like, the cell has cytoplasm inside it. Similarly, nucleus is also having a fluid-like structure which is present inside the nucleus, and that is called as nucleoplasm. Okay, so plasm basically, is this word has come from plasma. So this is basically the structure which is the fluid-like things present inside the cell. So when it is inside the cell, it is called as cytoplasm. But now here we are talking about the fluid which is present inside the nucleus. So this is called as nucleoplasm. All right. The second point is nucleus is covered by a double membrane structure which you call as nuclear membrane, or you can also call it as nuclear envelope. And thirdly, the nuclear membrane contains the pores which is allowing the passage of materials. So see over here in the diagram, we'll discuss about all these points. The first point that we discussed is about this fluid-like structure which is present inside the nucleus, which you call as nucleoplasm. Fine. So you can see here light pinkish color fluid which is present inside the cell, which you call as the nucleoplasm. Okay. Next point we have discussed about the double membrane which is covering, or which is which is basically present outside the nucleus. So this is the double layer structure which is called as the nuclear membrane. Okay, so this is nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope, which is having, as you can see over here in the diagram distinctly, you can see two layers. One is outer layer and the other one is the inner layer. So this is basically nuclear envelope which is consisting of outer and inner membranes. Okay, so this is outer, this one is outer, and this one is the inner membrane. Okay, so therefore we can say it is a double layer structure. All right. And thirdly, we have also discussed that this nuclear membrane is not continuous. So you can see, in between it is broken. So this is basically wherever there is a space in between, like you can see the space over here, you can see the space over here. Fine. So all these are called as the nuclear pores. Fine. So what is the importance of these pores? This is basically allowing the passage of various materials in and out of the nucleus. Fine. So when the ribosomes are synthesized over here inside the nucleolus, they needs to be transferred outside. So they will be, moving out through these pores. Fine. So these pores are basically allowing the passage and also inside as well. So whatever has to be moved through this nucleus in and out is basically through these pores. Okay. Next is the chromosomes which are present in the nucleus. So we know that nucleus contains the genetic information. So this genetic information is present basically in the form of chromosomes, yes. So whenever it is like a loose thread like structure. Whenever it is just very easily seen as if you've kept Maggie in a bowl. So it is just a loose thread like structure which doesn't have any condensation, which is not condensed into a shape. So such like structure, I've selected a picture which is easily resembling chromatin thread. Such arrangement of genetic material which is very loose, and this is what you call as chromatin. Okay, this is visible to you when the cell is not dividing. All right, but when the cell is undergoing division, then you would be watching the chromosomes which is like this. Okay, so you would be watching an X-shaped chromosomes in that case when the cell is undergoing the division or the cell division is happening, then the genetic material is basically condensed and it takes the shape of a chromosome. So this is how the chromosome would look like when the cell is in the division form. Okay, cell is dividing, then it would be seen as the chromosome, condensed chromosome. When the cell is not dividing, then the genetic material would be loosely present, and that would be called as inside the nucleus only, and that would be called as the chromatin. Okay, so this is clear. Now moving further, now chromosomes are made up of DNA, which is also called as deoxyribonucleic acid, and of course the proteins. Okay, so as I told over here as well, we'll go to the previous slide. So you can see, this is what the chromosomes are made up of. So DNA is basically a double helical structure. So this is like the double helix of DNA is like, okay. So DNA is just like a double helical structure, but then this helical structure on the chromosomes is bound with the help of histone proteins. Fine. So ये जो DNA होता है histone proteins के आसपास, it is bound over the histone proteins. Okay. So these DNA molecules basically are present on the chromosomes, and they are also associated with the proteins which are called as histone proteins. Okay, fine. Now this DNA molecules contains the basic information which is necessary for this organizing a cell or making of a cell in the form of genes. Okay, so therefore we can say the functional segments on the DNA are called as gene. So there would be some segments like, see over here, this is in black. Okay, this is in black. These black segments over here, the entire DNA would not be containing the functional sequences. Now these are the sequences. These black portions are basically the genes, which are the functional segments present on DNA. Now these functional segments would be would be further on making proteins in the cell. So therefore we say the genes basically which are present on DNA, they are the functional segments, and they are responsible for further the formation of proteins inside the cell. Okay, so genes are basically the segments of DNA which are functional. All right. So what we have discussed is inside a cell you have a nucleus. In the nucleus you have the genetic material which is present in the form of chromosomes. On the chromosomes are present the DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid, and the functional segments which are present on the DNA are what you call as genes. Okay, so genes are basically the segments which are present on the DNA which are functional. Okay, which would be now further on they would be helping in the synthesis of proteins. So these are the functional segments which are present on the DNA. Okay, hope you have understood what is the basic structure of nucleus like, and you would remember this. Okay, if you like our video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.